Balkan Visual Systems is an experimental project that examines the visual identity of the Balkans through design of creative systems with which the Balkans could be mediated and visualized. One of them being Balkan Typeface System, a joint project with Nikola Jurek from Typo 9. And the other being Balkan Visual Systems, which was my master thesis at School of Design in Zagreb. Balkan, sans. Hybrid typeface system for inter-Balkan communication. Balkan is a new typeface system that consists of Latin and Cyrillic scripts. It is based on the study of a phenomenon known as Balkan Sprachbund, a term used to describe neighboring languages whose sound and grammatical features have merged because of their proximity. The typeface system also represents an attempt to identify the features shared by some South Slavic languages and alphabets like Bosnian, Montenegrin, Croatian and Serbian. We focused on the dual literacy that characterizes Slavic peoples, many of whom use and transliterate both Latin and Cyrillic alphabets. Historically, there were three scripts in this region: Cyrillic, Latin and Glagolitic. The use of Latin and Cyrillic typifies the former Yugoslavian countries, today's Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina as well as Montenegro. Historically, both scripts in this region were bearers of cultural, ethnic, religious and political identities, but their communicative and symbolic functions were often out of step just for the sake of multi-ethnicity. On the other hand, close development of languages and scripts throughout history resulted in shared properties. Today some regional languages in the Western Balkans are so similar that they can even be thought of as dialects. The Balkan typeface system is a series of fonts that decodes Latin and Cyrillic. It demystifies, depoliticizes and reconciles them for the sake of education, tolerance and, above all, communication. The Balkan is a font in the usual sense. It can also be used to translate Croatian Latin into Serbian Cyrillic and vice versa. One could therefore think of the fonts as the educational software capable of reconciling discrete scripts. Like all open-type fonts, Balkan can be expanded to include the Russian, Macedonian and Bulgarian alphabets. Balkan Sans and Balkan Sans stencil consist of 4 styles. 3 of them have different alignments. For example, all uppercase characters are Latin and lowercase characters are Cyrillic, and one style consists of uppercase Cyrillic and lowercase Latin characters. Balkan Sans deals with the concepts of transcending cultural barriers through often educational software which promotes new ways of understanding and using typography and typeface design. In 2012, Balkan Type System received the Type Directors Club Certificate of Excellence in Type Design. Balkan Visual Systems. Visualizing the Balkans. Experimental project Balkan Visual Systems is based on previous theoretical research called Visions of the Balkans Identity, which examines the anthropological, social, historical and political dimensions of the concept of the Balkans. During this study, many visual materials were collected and processed through surveys and a research blog. The following video shows some of those materials. The Balkan visual systems consist of 4 visual systems that mediate visual identity of the Balkans through different design methods. Image systems are basically grids or filters that enable generation of complex visualizations of the Balkans. They allow confrontations of images with different content. Within these grids, differences and meanings of each image is mediated through new visual remix. Images that were used for these remixes show some of the contradictions of the Balkans. For example, honey and blood, war and peace, rural and urban, heritage and ruins. Photo fonts are text-to-image systems that replace letters with images and thus encode written messages in symbolic, associative collages. 3 photo fonts that describe the Balkans were created. The first photo font combines ethnologic images related to material, social and spiritual culture of the Balkans. Second photo font combines a variety of cultural elements related to Balkan pop culture and art. Third photo font combines historical, political and geographical elements of the Balkans. These interactive writing systems generate symbolic, Balkan, photo mosaics, collages and messages encoded with images. Interpretation posters are inspired by collective patterns, folk wisdoms and stereotypes about the Balkans. Visual intervention was a proposal of changing the inscription of Cinema Europe into Cinema Balkan during the subversive film festival in very center of Zagreb. Cinema was originally called Balkan up to 90s. Balkan visual systems are hybrid design systems inspired by the Balkans, trying to express complex segments of its identity, which anyone can use as a means of exploring images and meanings, or as inspirational and creative systems in visual communication design. Mediating Balkan through images, semantic systems and elements of visual communication is part of a larger quest to design visual communication system that could express, communicate, and endure this phenomenon.